would you act, would you behave, would you respond in the same manner, would you take the same position if it was your own children, if you had lost your own children? Then what would be the case? Even that, what precedent would it set? The major question is what message you are giving, that with money you can do anything. Because the activities that he is doing, the acts performed by him, the cognitive capabilities and the capacities are that of an adult, but the treatment that is being meted out to him after he has done a horrible crime is that of a juvenile, right? Those on the road, who will bear the responsibility is the main question. Then our laws so weak, so amenable, our laws so malleable that any rich person, wealthy person with the resources in the hand, with the money power, symbolic, cultural or the social power like this person had, would hire the top lawyer, right, and would actually mold the rules as per his interests. This is totally unfair. What is the cost of two lives? God knows. We have got the wealthy people all over the India. So they are rich brats. They can run the bike, run the car over you anytime. What would you do? Nothing if you don't speak now. If a rigid, strong, and solid precedent is not set now, right? Now we are supposed to reach to the justice through the law, but what presently is happening is that we have made law the end in itself, but law is just a means in itself in order to reach to the justice, because we don't see justice happening here. Where should we, where will we find the justice if the laws are given such level of paramountcy, or such level of sanctity that laws are final in themselves? Then where will the justice be seen? Justice is crying in the corner. And Marx, why did I mention him? Because he is relevant today, even because it is the economic infrastructure that is deciding the social superstructure, because it is the money power that you have that would decide whether you will get the justice or not. You can mold the system, you can misuse the system, abuse the system, you can somehow navigate your way through the system if you have the resources. With resources you can do anything. You can go and hire the lawyer so prestigious as Kapil Sibal or Ram Malani, or the lawyer, the case of this person who is very well read and learned, would take the fees in the lakhs or perhaps crores. So lakh is a very small amount, and would somehow got him go scot free. Numerically he can be a minor, but cognitively he is a major. He knows, like drinking, he's driving the car, he's doing everything just fine, just like an adult. Then why should he be treated as?
So these are some snippets from the news, and just look at the headlines, only the headlines. It seems like all the sympathies, empathies of the judges of the High Court, these are the judges of the High Court, are for the perpetrator, They are calling him the accused. Let me read it out. Pune Porsche crash case, Bombay High Court grants bail to juvenile, says child was also in trauma. Oh my god. Oh my god. Child was also in trauma. Pune Porsche crash case, it is the Bombay High Court on June 25 granted the bail to the juvenile accused in the Pune car accident case. What did the judges had to say? They said that we are bound by law, the aims and objectives of the Juvenile Justice Act, and must treat him as any child in conflict with law separately from adult despite the seriousness of the crime, said the bench of Justice Bharati Dangre and Justice Manjusha Deshpande. I wish if the own children of these renowned judges, were the victim, the pronouncement, the wordings, the tone, the content of the judgment would be same. I wish if this integrity is there, would be there, then that is great, but I don't think that it would be. What do you think? Tell me in the comment section below. Do you think are the judges like I don't know how to put it. If I put it very bluntly, outrightly, and not in a sophisticated manner, I might attract the contempt of the court. Because in such wordings, it seems like that judges are the own people of the perpetrator. There is a theory that goes on the elites, no matter from which class they come from, which sector or sections of the society they come from, there is a nexus between them. A nexus between the corporate and the political world, the bureaucratic administrative world is very, famous. So it seems like, yeah, there is some. Just look at the wording. We are bound by the law and the aims and the objectives of the Juvenile Justice Act and must treat him as a child in conflict with law separately from adult. When he's doing all the things of an adult, drinking, driving the car at 200 kilometer per hour and even more than that in a populated area, when he has got no number plate on the vehicle is not registered, he doesn't have the license. This is a clear conscious violation of the law, and he knows that because he is a well read person. He must have got his schooling done in a well reputed school, so he knows that these are all the clear violations of the law. His parents, they are the educated people, no doubt. He knows that he is acting like an adult. The activities he drank, he spent 40,000 rupees on the alcohol that day in the pub, in the bar where he was, can be clearly seen as drinking the alcohol, and his picture is blurred. So much of protection, care, sympathy, empathy, is being showered on this perpetrator. And what is there for the parents, for the victims? What is for them? What is there for them? Dejection, desperation, hopelessness, helplessness, powerlessness, and injustice. Let me read it completely. The court observed that the Juvenile Justice Board's order remanding him in an observation home was illegal and passed without jurisdiction. Oh my god. It clarified that the teenager is under rehabilitation. Now, this guy who has the capabilities to drive a car, at a speed of over 200 kilometers, is going out in the night, drinking the alcohol, is almost 18 years old, right? He is being called as a child. He has the capacity to produce a child if he is given the chance. No, he is given the relief or the respite for the fact that he is a child. God knows what kind of law and rules are they. Now, let me read it out. The incident, which occurred on May 19, involved a 17-year-old boy who was driving a Porsche at high speed, resulting in the deaths of Ashwini Costa and Anish Avadia, both IT engineers in Pune. The accident sparked a nationwide outrage and highlighted the severity of juvenile crime. The Bombay High Court, mind you, it is the Bombay High Court, ruled today that the teen accused ruled that the teen accused ruled that the teen accused must be released from detention immediately. Look at the words. No, must be released and immediately. The bench comprising dash emphasized the principles of the JJA, which mandates treating minors in conflict with the law differently from adults, regardless of the crime's seriousness. Gajab hai, gajab. This is a serious loophole. Serious loophole. This is a serious loophole. Great. The aims and objectives of the Juvenile Justice Act require us to treat him as a child in conflict with the law separate from an adult. Great. Now, this is the mother. Now, let me read it out. This one also. The court said, amid the immediate reaction to the accident, the knee jerk reaction, and the public outcry, the CCL's age was not considered. Oh my god. So much of sympathy and empathy for the child. So much of sympathy. I hope, I wish even 10 percentage would be there for the victims. Then they would have got at least some justice, some semblance and sense of justice. But no, it is not there. The CCL is under 18 years old. His age needs to be considered. Oh my god. The bench said, according to a report by PTI. Look at the mother. Look at the young people. And look at this rich brat who's drinking the alcohol. Even the faces are not shown. Shocking. Victim Ashwani Costa's mother reacts to bail for minor in Pune Porsche case. Ashwini Costa's mother Mamta Costa expressed her anguish over the Bombay High Court's ruling granting bail to the minor accused, calling it shocking. She stated, "We have full faith in the judiciary." Nahi auntie, mat rakho faith. We have full faith in the judiciary, but the court should also feel the pain we are going through. Oh my god. Can you imagine, like, what would be the situation of that mother who has lost the child in the early 20s when it was the whole entire life, waiting for him to be lived? What kind of system is this? When will you speak? I urge the people to speak because it is today Ashwini, tomorrow it could be you. So speak before this happens with you.
Good morning, guys. I just heard the news that the rich brat, the perpetrator, the person who took the life of two young people, the attackees in the Pune Porsche case, he got released. He was given the final bail by the High Court of Maharashtra, saying that he's a minor, a juvenile, and should be treated as one. And why was he detained for a long time? This was a kind of torture inflicted on him, trauma inflicted on him. So these were the words of the High Court, and it is no surprise, and it would be no shock if the same comments, pronouncement or the order is given by the Supreme Court in case the prosecutors take the case, to the higher level, to the Supreme Court. Then Supreme Court saying that we are abided by the law and we are bound by the law, saying that law is actually paramount, can release the perpetrator, can actually stay the cannot stay the order of the High Court, can actually back the order of the High Court, Supreme Court as well. So anyways, what was the matter? Let me tell you very briefly in 2 minutes. 1 month ago in the night, this person, after drinking alcohol, he's a minor, he shouldn't be given the alcohol, it is a violation of the law. He was driving the car. It was a rash driving case because he was driving at the speed of 200 kilometers in the area which is populated in Maharashtra, in Mumbai, and in Pune. And what he did, he ran over these two people who were returning to their home from a party in the night on their bike. So they died on the spot. And the crimes committed by this rich brat, who is quote unquote 17 years 8 months old, is firstly he was rash driving, secondly he was driving but he didn't have the license, which is a clear transgression of the rules or the law. Thirdly, the car wasn't registered. It was a very luxurious car worth in crores, I guess 2 to 3 crores, but it wasn't registered, right? He was in a drunken or inebriated state, okay, and he drank the alcohol in the night. The restaurant was open beyond the time limit prescribed, as it is the usual case in India, and there were so many transgressions committed by this person, this guy, and he escaped. He got scot-free. Why? Because he is a juvenile, he is a minor, and the court actually repudiated the police, saying that why did you keep him in the custody for a long time, for 1 month? Why did you? Because he's a minor and he should be released. He cannot be arrested and put behind the bars, because it is the law, and they say that they are bound by the law. So I told you in the in the previous video that I made when this case happened, that now this would be the test of the justice, of the law, of the democracy, of the robustness of the judicial system, justice delivery system, that for how long the person, who is the criminal, lives behind the bar. And I told you that at least for 5 years, he should be given the imprisonment. Because why are we forgetting the very fact that there are two lives which have been lost for no reason, and those lives could be from your family as well, right? But no, we are not focusing on this thing. So here, after this recent development, a lot of questions came to my mind and I have jotted them down. There are 10 questions which I would be posing very rapidly. Are The first one is, are laws important or the justice? See, the base of the democracy is justice. It is written in the preamble of the constitution as well. Justice is the basic necessity and hallmark, I would say, hallmark of any civilized society, right? Now, we are supposed to reach to the justice through the law, but what presently is happening is that we have made law the end in itself, but law is just a means in itself in order to reach to the justice, because we don't see justice happening here. The person who killed the two innocent people, he was given the bail within the 12 to 14 years, 14 hours. On what basis? That he should be assisting the police, the traffic police, and he should write a 300 words essay, and he should consult some counselors or the psychologists, and now he was given the bail. And then, after a huge protest and ire from across the social or political circles, mainly on the social media, and he was again not arrested, but he was kept in the custody. But now what we see, that he has been released permanently, and by whom? By the High Court. By the High Court, not an ordinary court. So this raises the question that where is the justice? Where will we find the justice? If the laws are given such level of paramountcy, or such level of sanctity, that laws are final in themselves, then where will the justice be seen? Justice is crying in the corner. Anyways, I shouldn't laugh, but yeah. So yeah, this is first question. Are laws important or justice important? Which should get the priority? This is the first thing. Are they both mutually exclusive to each other? No, they are the same thing, right? The means, I mean the laws, they are a part of the justice. Justice is a bigger, and laws are just a part of the justice, because they are a means in order to achieve a higher end, which is the justice. But we don't see it happening. Moving on to the second question, is justice for the rich only? This is a very, very interesting question, and I, being a social researcher, would like to bring Marx here, because Marx says that he was an economic determinist. He said that the society is divided into the two classes, that is haves and have-nots. Have-nots, like those who have the resources and those who don't have the resources, the upper class or the lower class, right? He was an economic determinist because he said that he graphically represented the society, the power equations in the society, through a diagram, which he said that in the society, it is actually the economic infrastructure. Economic infrastructure means the money, the wealth that you have, the resources that you have. That is paramount, that is at the base, and that would decide the social superstructure. Social superstructure has all the social or political institutions, for example, the law, family, marriage, your status, the power. This all would be decided by what? By the economic infrastructure, and economic infrastructure has the money, wealth at its heart, right? So what's happening is that we can clearly see that just because he's the son of a rich business tycoon, and they allegedly have some connections with the mafias and all, so they can actually put a lot of money in the pocket of the people sitting in the, be it in the judicial system or the investigation system, because we saw that the blood samples were changed, right? And he was fed pizzas and also so as to dilute the blood, and the blood samples were taken very lately, They try to bribe the driver, saying that, oh driver, you take the blame on yourself so that we can save our son, just like it happened in other cases as well. I guess Salman Khan and some other cases. So you can clearly see the role of the money. So people raise the doubt that why they cannot bribe the people who are sitting, at the helm of the judicial or the investigation system. This is a paramount question. Would it be the case if he was not that wealthy, if he came from a lower class or the lower middle class? If he came from the lower class, he wouldn't have the car even. So suppose he came from the middle class and he was driving an Alto, would that be the case? This is a very important question. Is justice for the rich only? And Marx, why did I mention him? Because he is relevant today, even because it is the economic infrastructure that is deciding the social superstructure, because it is the money power that you have that would decide whether you will get the justice or not. You can mold the system, you can misuse the system, abuse the system, you can somehow navigate, you can navigate your way through the system if you have the resources. With resources you can do anything. You can go and hire the lawyer so prestigious as Kapil Sibal or Ram Malani, or the lawyer, the case of this person who is very well read and learned, would take the fees in the lakhs or perhaps crores. So lakh is a very small amount, and would somehow got him go scot free. Again, this raises a pertinent question that what would happen with the poor? For the poor, we know that for the petty crimes, or for sometimes for the crimes which we never did, we languish in the jails for a long time. The occupancy rate of the jails is 125%, and like more than half of the people who are in jails, in prisons in India, are those like who are undergoing trial. They aren't convicted yet, they are just accused. And in such a backdrop, in such a background, in such a larger context, when we hear such case that where there is blatantly and very manifestly violation of so many rules and laws by a person who is very conscious of what he is doing. Numerically he can be a minor, but cognitively he is a major. He knows, like drinking, he's driving the car, he's doing everything just fine, just like an adult. Then why should he be treated as a juvenile? Well, that is another question that I would raise subsequently. But this was the second question, which is the main question: is the justice only for the rich? Moving on to the third question: what if the victims were children of? Yeah, now this is a very moral question. See, I heard the lawyer of the perpetrator saying that we did everything according to the law, according to the procedures, according to the rules, and we are bound by the rules. And I also heard the judges saying that we are bound by the rules. If you all are so very rules obsessed, so very fixated with the rules, laws, and regulations, then just tell me one single thing: would you behave in the same manner? Would you act in the same manner if the victims were your own children or the family members? This is a very pertinent question. For all those who give the excuse of the rules or the laws, law may, it is written in the law, it is written in the rule, everything is taking place according to the laws or the rules prescribed, according to the procedures. Then just tell me one thing: would you act, would you behave, would you respond in the same manner, would you take the same position if it was your own children, if you had lost your own children? Then what would be the case? Let me tell you, you would move heaven and earth in order to get justice for your children. God forbid this happen with your children. I don't see it coming, but only to make you understand, just take a reflexive point of view. Just put yourself in their shoes, in the shoes of the mother who was crying, the father who has lost the young children. I mean, I read somewhere, it is a folk saying that there is no loss, no grief, pain, or the sorrow bigger than the one where the parents lose their young children and the father has to carry the dead body of the child on his shoulder. This is a moral question. This is a moral question. Moving on to the fourth question, there is a line between. No, this was a moral question. Like now, there is a ethical question. Fourth question is an ethical question, that what is the line between the reformative and the restitutive justice? See, justice, like there are two schools of thoughts with regards to the justice. One is the reformative, which says that a person, no matter how severe the crime he or she has committed, should be given the treatment that of a patient, because he is mentally ill, and he should be reformed. We should try to reform him rather than inflicting a lot of pain, trauma, agony on him through the punishment. This is the reformative school, and Gandhi also believed on this thing, that we should not give the capital punishment. We should not kill the perpetrator. Otherwise, what will be the difference between we, the society, the mainstream society, and the deviant, the criminal, right? This is the reformative system. So the lawyer of the rich brat, the accused person, the perpetrator, I would say, is saying that we believe in the reformative system. Again, now another side of school says that basically the punishment should be corresponding, or should be, reciprocal, should be equivalent to the crime committed by the person. If the person has committed a very heinous crime, suppose he is criminal, he's done the murder, then he should be given the punishment, if not the capital punishment, then at least the lifetime imprisonment, right? For the people who are doing so big the crimes, like the terrorists and all, you can give even the capital punishment. The retributive people, they would say that retributive means to take a vengeance, to take revenge. जैसे को तैसा करना, this is retributive. And reformative justice system is कि have a very very big heart, become very liberal, right? So what I personally feel is that this is good when it comes to saying, when it comes to writing the essays, giving the moral, philosophical, ethical speeches, and this becomes active when it is about you only. The people, those who are basing their claims on this line of thought, the reformative line of thought, my simple question to them would be: had you lost your children in that tragedy, would your position be same? Would your position be same had you lost your children in that tragedy? So this is again a question, that where should we draw the line? And again, like a pertinent question is that the person who is treated as a juvenile, as a minor, was he really a minor? Well, that would be a question we would discuss later. Oh, it has come now in the fifth point only. What's the concept of juvenile? What is the age for the juvenile? Should it not be revisited? Because every act that he is doing is that of an adult. He knows how to drive the car. He is driving the car. He is in the drunken state, and he is full grown up. He's doing everything. He's able to reproduce he has like all the capabilities, doesn't he have? He's cognitively, he knows what he's doing. Like, he is a well-read person. So why is he being treated as a juvenile? Why didn't you setting the age that is actually right? Should there not be any amendments in the laws? That is again a very pertinent question, because the activities that he is doing, the acts performed by him, the cognitive capabilities and the capacities are that of an adult, but the treatment that is being meted out to him after he has done a horrible crime is that of a juvenile, right? So this again opens a lot of space, or bring a lot of loopholes in the judicial system, that anybody can hire a juvenile in order to get a crime done, and he knows that like it is the juvenile, so you would go scot-free. So let us get this crime committed by a juvenile, right? This chilla chilla ki scheme bata de. I'm not awaiting anybody, provoking anybody, or suggesting anybody to commit the crime, but I'm merely saying that the age limit should have a relook at. What if the opposite happened? This again is a question which is related, to the moral perspective that I put forward recently. Suppose that the rich brat, he was there on the road, he was walking with his friends, and there was this person, the taxi, who was driving the car, and he actually ran over that person, right? So what would happen in this opposite case? Because if we actually interchange the players, the parties, right, then we would be able to understand the equation better. We would be able to understand the role of money, the money power, in a better way, in a better way. Where is the civil society gone? This is again a very pertinent question. Like, I am raising the question, like, did I anything to do with the attacking? No, I didn't have. I have got a lot of topics to speak on. Why did I choose this particular topic? Because I know that tomorrow it can be me, my friends, Rahul, Parak, Harshit, Jay, those who live there. Their names came to my mind firstly when I heard the news that the young techies, they are the techies, IT software people, and they are from MP, and they were riding the bike. So when these descriptions came, then the pictures of my own friends came to my mind. This can happen with anybody, anywhere, anywhere, because law remains the same. No, it applies. It is applied all over the India. So, but nobody is protesting. Nobody is coming out. My own friends, I don't see much, anger in the people. There is no sort of association. Just because they were the IT professionals, they had this identity that they are IT professionals. There should be some, professional associations, of these IT people, and they should come out. They should protest. It's not like once or twice they have put the status on the social media. It should be a persistent protest until unless they get the justice, and they should take the cue from the Nirbhaya protest that took place back in 2013. That was remarkable. So this is something which should happen. Otherwise, the people sitting at the helm of the judicial system or the investigative system, uh, they won't understand the severity of the issue, right? In the democracy, it is the demos, it is the people who will have to raise their voice, to speak up, to agitate, to get organized. If they are not doing it, then I don't see the justice getting served. So why are they not doing it? Because they are focused, they are actually obsessed with their own lives. Why don't they have this macro view, this futuristic view that tomorrow it can happen with them as well? So I think the corporate people, they should come out. The IT professionals, they should come out, because the victims belong to their fraternity, right? So anyways, we can only suggest, but it is very confounding that why are they not coming up, why are they not speaking? Where is democracy? What is democracy? We say that we are the mother of democracy, we are the world's biggest, largest democracy, and in the democracy it is the people who rule, and you go to the people and tell them the details of this case, and they would tell you that no, it is not right, it is not just. Merely a commonsensical understanding, even a child would say that no, this is not just, this is not right, this is not fair. You don't need the large amount of knowledge, legal knowledge, for this thing, because there is a principle of natural justice. Justice should not only be done but should be seen to be done, and justice is not getting seen to be done here, right? So if you do a sort of survey and ask the people, the demos, right, do you think that this was right, then 9 out of 10 people would say that no, the release of the perpetrator was not right, right? And as of now, in the present, the parents are behind the bars, but in the near future they would also be set free. This is totally unfair. What is the cost of 2 lives? God knows. So in the democracy, rule of law, I mean, should be there, and the laws should be robust, should be rigid, should have the same application on everybody. And rule of law is just a means. The higher end is the justice. These all the things are interconnected, but we are what we are seeing is that they are getting abused, misused, right? And what we are reaching towards is the injustice, not the justice. Why the laws are not getting changed? This is again a big question. Why the laws are not getting changed? I mean, the main basis of the lawyer of the perpetrator is that we are doing everything according to the law, according to the procedures prescribed in the laws. Then I mean, our laws so weak, so amenable, our laws so malleable that any rich person, wealthy person with the resources in the hand, with the money power, symbolic, cultural or the social power like this person had, would hire the top lawyer, right? And would actually mold the law, the rules as per his interests. Then what will happen? What will happen? So shouldn't it's high time that the all the gaps which are there in the laws should be filled. Media descriptive versus analytical journalism. So I told you about the civil society, and I think that the one medium so as to stoke the feelings, the emotion, the anger in the civil society is the media, because it is the media that we consume. Now what is happening is that what generally happens is that media gives a very descriptive picture. Media takes a very descriptive look at this incident or the incident like this. What they should be doing is having an analytical look at it, having an explanatory look at it. They should be asking the questions, but no, they would just describe the things that this is what happened. Like he has now got the bail, he is now released, and that's it. The news would end there. I think that the role of the media would be the discussion, the discourse, the analysis. That is it right or not? Is it right or not? On various parameters, which the media generally doesn't do, right? I hope this news as well would capture at least 1% of the coverage that the Sushant Singh incident took. Pardon me, a lot of you can actually disagree with me, but I think that it was a suicide and it got disproportionately larger attention. It was a suicide, right? And he's a just because you are an elite, you are a celebrity, and people are also blinded. I mean, I don't think that the people emoted heavily for him. Media played a very impressive role. Media stoked the feelings of the people, showing them this news 24/7, and people were so very obsessed with the Sushant as if no crime is taking place nowhere in any part in no part of the country. It was like that. People aren't showing 0.1 percentage of the interest in this case, or in the other case like Unnao, Hathras. There were a lot of other cases as well. Who will bear the apt question to end this discussion, that who will bear the responsibility if not the perpetrator, who is treated as a juvenile, or the minor? Then who will take the responsibility? This is the apt question to end this discussion, that who will bear the responsibility if not the perpetrator, who is treated as a juvenile, or the minor? Then who will take the responsibility? The parents, they would also be released very soon. The police, the people who serve the liquor, the manufacturer of the car, the agencies, the traffic management, or the police who didn't check that car without the number plate and the registration is running at the speed of 200 kilometers on the road. Who will bear the responsibility is the main question. And if nobody bears the responsibility, if the perpetrator comes out and lives a normal life and keep on with the speed driving, with the alcohol and all, then what is this justice? Will there be any justice with the family who has lost their young children? Will there be any justice? Yes or no? So somebody has to bear the responsibility. This is a major legal question. Anybody who comes from the legal background and knows the nitty gritties of the case of this concept can please tell me that, see, if you have thrown the ball upwards, then because of the gravity it will come downwards. If you have thrown the ball against the wall, then it would bounce back to me in the opposite direction. So if there is an action, there has to be a reaction. This is a very, I mean, commonsensical understanding. Now there has been the loss of two lives, and apparently, manifestly, very clearly, there is a person who was in the drunken state, was driving the car at 200 kilometer per hour speed, and was involved in so many other transgressions of the rules and the laws. For example, drinking the alcohol, not getting the car registered, not having the driving license, being a minor and the underage for both driving the car and drinking the alcohol. And there was a tacit support of the family as well. So he has to suffer, no? He has to get the punishment, if not the for the lifetime, then at least for some years, no, at least for some years. But no, it is not even that. Even that, what precedent would it set? The major question is what message you are giving, that with money you can do anything, with the money power you can do anything. This is the message clearly which is being sent, and this is why I emphasized on the understanding of Marx of the society, that it is the money that rules. It is the money, the infrastructure, the economic base that would decide the social superstructure, that would decide the law. How does the law work, right? Anyways, with this, I'll have to sign off. Before doing that, I'll just tell you, just have a look at this thing, this issue from this perspective, that what if it were they were your children, your friends, sisters, brothers, or the colleagues? What, it could be you tomorrow. This was the simple thing that I told in the previous video as well. This could be you and me as well. We'll have to raise our voice before this incident happens with us, before we become the victims of such incident. We'll have to raise voice and bring the changes in the system. With this, Garvit Jain signing off. Jai Hind.